Hello to anybody that's joining us in the catch up today. The sun is out, I'm in a good mood, and I'm ready to practice yoga with you, some movement meditation. We'll just wait a few more moments to let Instagram, let the crew know that we're here. Water, comfies. Those of you who have been here before know the score. Those of you that are new, welcome. Yeah, so the sun is shining and I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood today. I do like the sun being out. It's just something about the blue sky, isn't it? It's like, So we'll just wait for a couple more moments to see who's going to be joining us live. And then we will begin. Before we begin, I'll ask people just to do a little kind of self-check-in, because sometimes it can be really useful just to think about how we're feeling, you know, before we begin practice, and then we can sort of start to notice if there's any changes in our practice. There certainly doesn't always, or certainly won't always be a change after we do our movement meditation. Like sometimes if I'm practicing in my own life, as a student, I can feel anxious for the whole class, and then right at the end I might notice a shift, or sometimes I might still feel anxious when I leave. I guess the intention isn't that we're always going to come here and feel better, but actually it's more about connecting to what's actually going on and being quite conscious with what's going on, so that we can make different choices and respond in new and helpful ways in our lives. Morning, good morning, good morning. To begin, I'm just going to ask you to do a little self-check-in. I'm just going to ask you to think about if you could describe your mood in relation to kind of a weather, like the weather. What would that be? So for me today, my mood is matching the weather. So I'm feeling like it's a bright, sunny day. So just kind of an inward reflection of, how are you feeling this moment? It might be storm clouds. It might be raining. You know, just noticing what that feels like. And the reason I offer this metaphor, I guess, or this reflection about thinking about things like the weather, is actually it's a really helpful way of thinking about our moods. Because we're always kind of ebbing and flowing, and when we're in the kind of more difficult spots in our lives, it can feel like we're going to be engulfed in that space forever. But like the weather, it's always moving. So like, you know, there might be a storm, but there's going to be calm after the storm. There might be bright sunshine, but then there's also going to come rain again. So it's this kind of, I guess, connection to this idea that this too shall pass. We're in this kind of constant, gentle state of change. And when we're feeling really, really awful, just a reminder that the brighter days are always on the horizon, no matter what it is we're going through. So let's begin. Just making yourself comfortable in a seated position. So whichever way you would normally cross your legs, just changing the cross of the legs to the other way. So again, getting comfortable with this idea of change. So some of us can feel really like change feels really scary, but when we begin to practice just changing a subtle thing like changing the cross of our legs, we can begin to connect to this idea that change feels weird and awful sometimes, but it's safe. Change is safe, change is safe, change is safe. Just allowing your eyes to close gently if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, no worries at all. Just keep your eyes open in a soft gaze, maybe gazing down at something on the ground, or maybe even a sight that feels kind of pleasurable or neutral for you, maybe a colour, maybe a plant, maybe, hey, morning Izzy, maybe one of the plants in my background might be kind of soothing for you. So either eyes kind of gently open or gently closed. And just begin to notice the breath. Just beginning to observe the breath as it comes and goes, enters and leaves the body. And for you that might feel like noticing where you feel the breath. So for me, I kind of notice it in my chest. I notice it in my abdomen, there's an expansion. I also notice it in my shoulders. There's kind of a gentle rising and falling of the shoulders here. So not trying to change or shift the breath in any way, we're just literally noticing what's here. So we're noticing what the breath feels like in this moment. And by connecting to the breath, we come back into the present moment. So we spend so much of our lives spiraling away in thoughts, taking us away from the kind of the reality of the moment. So we spend a lot of our lives in the past and a lot of our lives in the future worrying about things that haven't happened yet. So the invite to come back to the breath is simply to come back to this moment. And when we come back to this moment, we're able to make new choices, create new pathways in our recovery journeys. A few more moments here, guys. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to the centre of your heart space, hands connect in prayer, and just noticing the sensation of touch between your palms. So for me, I'm feeling really warm today, so I'm really noticing kind of a heat. I'm noticing a heat in my palms, I'm noticing a heat in the back of my hands. And then I'm beginning to notice the gaps between the fingers. So actually beginning to notice, again, what's going on in the present moment. And my hunch is that the gaps between your fingertips is probably not the space that you spend a lot of your time thinking about if you think about your body. So we're beginning to zoom out, we're beginning to notice all of the body, not just the parts of ourselves that we zoom in on and then amplify because we don't like them. So just noticing that sensation of touch between your palms. As you inhale, you flutter your eyes open, your chin bows towards your heart space, just taking a moment to plant a little seed of gratitude to yourself for turning up on the yoga mat today, or in the yoga space. You don't need a mat to practice yoga. As we inhale, we lift our hands up towards the sky, and we separate our middle three fingers, we blossom open into those beautiful flowers. And as we exhale, the rain, our fingertips twirl down like rain, and we remind ourselves again that the rain is part of the journey. As we inhale, we connect to this sensation of growth, of change. And as we exhale again, we connect to this idea, this acceptance that there will be rain, there will be storm clouds, and part of the recovery journey. Inhale. And then exhale. Again, some of you might want to imagine you're kind of planting seeds of courage, seeds of bravery. Inhale. And then exhale. This time palms come to the knees, and we're going to take our chest forward as we inhale. And then as we exhale, we round our spine. So as we inhale, the heart comes forward. Hi to anyone that's joining us. And as you exhale, there's a rounding of the spine. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take it the other way now. So let's come the other way. So inhale, we're just moving in the opposite direction. Good, guys. Inhale comes forward. Exhale, rounds the spine. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's meet back in center again. Let's put our hands together at the center of our chest. Take a deep breath in, and then an exhale, sigh out. So sighs are really, really welcome in this class. It can help us with, if we're feeling a bit anxious, sometimes getting that kind of verbal sensation can help us release some of that anxiety. From here, we're going to come to our hands on our knees. We're going to make our way into cat-cow. So, if you've got any kind of sensitivity in your knees, I like to just look after my knees at all costs, actually. So sometimes I might bring maybe like a pillow underneath my knees, maybe rolling up the mat if you've got a mat to find a bit of padding here. Placing the knees on the ground, your palms rest underneath your shoulders, your fingertips are spread wide. From here, there's a dipping of the front of the body, there's an opening of the heart space, your gaze looks up. As you exhale, there's a rounding of the back of the body, so there's a lengthening of the back of the body. The chin begins to tuck towards the chest. Sometimes when I'm here, I come to my fingertips just to kind of deepen that stretch, but some of you might be happy here. Inhale, coming forward. There's a lengthening of the front of the body, an opening here. And then there's an exhale, there's a rounding of the spine, there's a tucking of the chin to the chest. Again, option to come to the fingers or options to stay with your palms resting on the ground. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, round. Inhale. And exhale, so just matching movement to the breath, maybe noticing the hands connected to the earth. Inhale. And exhale, good, rounding the spine. So either continuing with that kind of more traditional motion, or the invite here is for some of you to begin a bit, to invite in a bit of curiosity, of exploration to your practice here. So this is just a bit of an invite for freestyle movement really. So sometimes I might kind of lift one of my hands off the ground, sometimes I might kind of play around with this, I feel like I'm a dog, but you know, just really getting into the body here. What does it feel like? So I like to kind of flare out my toes sometimes, again, so we're bringing our awareness, we're zooming out all the way to our tiptoes. Again, parts of the body that typically we don't tend to have like massive issues with, but some of you still might have issues with the toes. But again, just bringing that awareness out, so that rather than zooming in on the parts that we don't like about ourselves, we're beginning to zoom into the whole body. We're beginning to zoom into the sensation of touch below us, so the ground beneath us. A few more moments playing around. I'm having a little play around with my neck here. But again, this is your space to do whatever you please with. And then when you're ready, let's lift ourselves back up into downward facing dog. So as you inhale, you tuck your toes, you lift your knees off the ground, your hips shoot up towards the sky. There's a bend in your knees, and then playing around with bending one knee, bending the other. Your neck is soft, your neck is heavy. And then when you're ready, stepping your feet forward behind your wrists. As you inhale, your fingertips come to your shins. As you exhale, folding all the way down again, there's a bend, little bend in that knee. So we're not putting any undue pressure on our bodies here. We're here to learn to nurture the body, to be kind to the body. Exhale, allow the head to be heavy. Good. Ground down with the soles of your feet, so just notice the connection of your feet to the earth. Notice all four corners of the feet and the edges connected to the earth here. As you inhale, rolling up your spine, so moving really, really slowly, no rush here. The arms can hang heavy, maybe some of your arms extend by your side like wings. As you inhale, there's a lifting of the hands up towards the sky. Again, find that connection of your feet to the earth, so notice the ground beneath you, and then notice your fingertips lifting up towards the sky. As you exhale, folding all the way down, it's like you're deep diving back towards the earth. And then as you inhale, again, there's this opening of the heart space, and as you exhale, there's a folding towards the ground. From here, stepping your feet back into a plank, but we come to a plank on our knees here. Hug your elbows towards your body, and then as you come down, pull your heart towards the ground, pull your heart through, rolling into low cobra, so shoulders roll back and down your spine, and then using the strength of your palms, just lifting yourselves back up into child's pose. So we're going to be resting here for a little while. You know, you might want to grab a cushion, you might want to make a cushion with your palms. I like to do that sometimes if I don't have a cushion. So wherever you are, just allowing yourself to softly, just bathing in this moment of rest. And rest can be really hard for some of us and really difficult. But in this moment, I'm giving you full permission to radically rest. So follow the breath. If there's thoughts arising about not being allowed to rest for some reason, just keep coming back to the breath, keep coming back to my voice, the music. You are deserving of rest. Rest is a vital part of the human experience. Beautiful, guys. A few more breaths here. I could stay here all day. When you're ready, lifting yourselves back up into downward facing dog. Let's do it consciously. I rushed the last one a little bit last time. So there's a lift in the knees, there's a noticing of the ground beneath the hands, and then there's a soft releasing of the neck just hangs heavy here. Good. Feet step behind the wrists as you inhale, fingertips come to shins, heart opens. As you exhale, there's a folding all the way back down. Ground down with the soles of your feet. There's a gentle curling up. There's a gentle curling up of the spine. Again, notice the feet on the ground, and then notice the fingertips as they lift up towards the sky. So as we stand here lifting towards the sky, we remember that there might be storms going on, there might be kind of thunderstorms, huge amounts of rain, but above all of that, the sun exists always. And I wonder if that's helpful in any way. That again, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. The sunshine is always on the horizon, no matter how difficult things feel. Let's breathe into that, reach up towards the sunshine, inhale. And then as you exhale again, let's find that deep dive back towards the earth. And then as we inhale, the fingertips come to shins, the heart opens. As we exhale again, we step back just softly into our planks, but I'll come into our planks on our knees. Knees, chest, chin come towards the earth. Hug your elbows in as you come down. Pull your heart through, low cobra, and then as you exhale again, we're going to find that space of rest. So let's get really, really cozy. So pillows, blankets. This is like, rest can become this like such a nourishing experience for us. And it's something that we really, if we struggle with rest, rest is a practice. If it's not easy, then we practice and it gets easier with time. So allow yourself to sink down towards the earth. Just allow yourself to be held in this moment by your breath, by the practice, by the melody of the music. Again, notice if thoughts arise about not wanting to be here. Notice restlessness, wriggling, urges to move away. And see if you can just rest here for a little bit longer with me. Beautiful, guys, really well done. So from here, let's lift our knees back up into a downward facing dog again. Let's be present with the sensation. This time stepping your right foot forward between your hands, coming into a low lunge. So you're on the ball of your back foot, using your fingertips to help lift you into a high lunge here. So as you inhale, there's a reaching of the hands up towards the sky. Some of you might want to place your hands on your hips. I noticed a little bit of tightness there. So again, it's just listening to the body. So for me, that actually wasn't feeling too good. So I'm just going to put my hands here. Heart opens, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Just holding here for a few breaths. Oh, I'm noticing my legs are getting tired now. So we're going to frame the front foot. We're going to step back into our planks. Knees, chest, chin, just enjoy that sensation as we release back down towards the ground without gripping. And then as we inhale, shoulders roll away from ears. And as we exhale again, we're sinking back into our space of rest. Perhaps allowing the breath to get a little bit deeper here. Keep bringing awareness back to breath, or back to ground beneath you. If any difficult thoughts are arising, maybe sort of telling them, not now, not now, not now. Good. As we inhale, let's push back up into downward facing dog. And this time left foot steps forward between our hands again. We're finding that low lunge on the other, that high lunge, sorry, on the other side. So you're on the back of the ball of the back foot. Again, fingertips help lift you into an upright position with your torso. I'm just having a play around, getting curious. So actually it feels quite nice for me to have one hand up towards the sky and then one hand down. So just following a bit of intuition here. I'm just spiraling with the music, and actually I'm just going to change that to the other side. So that feels nicer for my hips. Some of you might be here, some of you might be here. Again, just having a little curious explore. Noticing tiredness in my arms. I'm going to be kind to myself again as a framing of the front foot, a stepping back into plank, knees, chest, chin, hugging all the way down. Inhale, low cobra, and exhale, pushing back into child's pose. So for me, I'm really warm, so I'm going to take a sip of water. If you're noticing any sensations of thirst, honour that. If you think I'm not thirsty, but actually I probably could do with having a bit of water anyway. I've been practicing yoga for like 15 minutes or something. Good time to have a sip of water. And then let's meet in child's pose. Got to stay hydrated, particularly when we're practicing movement. So resting in child's pose. Maybe there's a sigh. Beautiful. Let's push back up into our tabletop position now. And from here, we're going to extend our right arm up towards the sky, and then we're going to hook it underneath our left arm. So the side of our face comes to rest on the ground. My right ear is on the ground, and just having a little play around with what feels good for your top hand. So some of you are going to want to take that hand and place it on the back of your spine. Some of you are just going to want to allow that hand to just kind of rest in front of you. Some of you might even want to kind of take your hands together in a prayer position. So really just noticing what feels like the most okay for your body. I'm going to go for like the rested arm here. Really just settling in here. Good, and when you're ready, we're going to inhale, unravel, so spiral up. Let's come to our knees and lift that right arm up towards the sky, and then let's come to switch sides. So right palm connects to the earth now, left arm lifts up towards the sky. Inhale, and then you exhale. Again, that left arm hooks underneath, and again making a decision. So I'm going to mix it up this time. I'm going to place my top hand on the back of the base of my spine. But just do what feels good for you here, guys. Good, let's unravel. Let's tuck our toes and make our way into that kind of kneeling position as we unwind. And then we meet together with our hands in prayer at the centre of our chest. From here, push yourselves forward and just make your way slowly into that standing position. So we're making our way into Tadasana. As an unwhirling, uncurling, unravelling. What a word. I tend to forget words when I teach. It's quite an interesting phenomena. Making our way into Tadasana. Palms rest by the side, palms are facing forward. And in this space, I like to imagine that we're all together. Like standing in some beautiful space, giving each other kind of a recovery high five, low five or high five. But, you know, just I guess this reminder that we're in this kind of community here, helping each other. So we're never like, we might feel alone sometimes, but you know, zoomed out perspective, we're never actually alone because there's always people here to support us. Beautiful. Let's come from here let's go into Flying Warrior actually. So let's step our right foot forward just in front of us a little bit. We're going to have a little bend in that knee, and then we're going to lift that other leg up behind us. So for me, I like to have something to hang on to help with my balance. My toes, words again, toes, I'm playing around with flexing them and pointing them. Not too much pressure on that knee, so there's a little bend there. Good. And let's come to switch sides. Again, you know, reaching out for support, really valuable step in life and in a recovery journey. So sometimes what I'm teaching is relevant for the practice, but also hugely relevant for outside the practice as well. So reaching out for support, we don't need to do things on our own. Beautiful, guys. Let's do one more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Good. Ooh. My legs feel a bit heavy today. Like there's a lot of there's just tiredness in them, right? Which means I'm going to honour rest. So let's come to sit on our bottoms. Legs stretched out in front of us. Toes are flexing towards the face like so. And as we inhale, we lift our hands up towards the sky. And then as we exhale, we fold forward. So if you notice my knees kind of slightly came up here, normal. Some of you might be like this, but you know, again, we're here to nurture. So kind of just listening, like we don't need to kind of really rigidly get to this like end point, whatever an end point would be here. Like my body's never gonna get, you know, flat on there, and that's totally cool. So maybe kind of, inviting this little micro bend in the knees, palms come to rest by your side. Noticing sensations in the back of the legs. And then from here, torso lifts, soles of the feet come to touch. And then some of you might want to be giving yourselves kind of a little gentle massage, or maybe really noticing the toes. I've got lots of blisters and things in mine. And then just resting here, allowing your hands to gently soften around your ankles with a gentle hinging from the hips. So you're gently just allowing your body to fall forward. Again, there's a cue here for gentleness, so I'm not asking or inviting, you know, deep kind of, I'm inviting just kind of softness. That where we are is okay as we are, and we don't always need to be pushing to an up level. Beautiful, guys. As you inhale, just unraveling, getting an urge here to, let's come back into a cross-leg position, and just let's have a little roll around with our shoulders. So shoulders roll up towards the ears and then back and down the spine. Nice, guys. And then let's just move that the other way. Just have a little wiggle around now. And then just coming into your body for a few moments and just deciding, you know, is there any final stretches that you need before you come into our final resting and most precious pose, our Shavasana, where we come to lay on our backs. So some of you might have some kind of like neck stuff, you might be giving yourself like a little gentle massage, maybe there's some neck rolls, maybe some of you are doing something completely different. I would have no idea of prediction what that is. But just kind of really just noticing if there are any kind of final stretches that the body needs before we come and have a little rest together. When you've had enough of your gentle stretching, coming to make your way onto your backs, coming into Shavasana. So making this the most cozy Shavasana you've ever taken in your life. So I'm going to have a pillow for mine. I'm going to have a sip of water just before I go down. Some of you might even have teddies. You know, whatever it is, just to make this like really... Palms face up towards the sky. Eyes can be open or closed. Palms may want to come and rest somewhere on the body in an act of self-soothing, but again, listening to what feels okay for you in this moment. Just breathing, just allowing yourself to be held here with the music. Don't worry about the time, I will mind the time. And I will let you know when it's time for us to move around again. These tough feelings are not me. They are moving through me, and they can leave out the same door that they came in. These tough feelings are not me. They are moving through me and can leave out the same door that they came in. There is always movement. This too shall pass. No matter how much work we do on ourselves, stress and anxiety will still find ways of showing up. Our job is not to avoid them. It is not to wrestle with them or cope with them. These types of emotions are unavoidable visitors. Let us accept them as part of life. When they come in, acknowledge their arrival, evaluate what invited them in, and recognise that they are guests, not permanent fixtures. We may not be able to control the arrival of tough emotions, but we do have the power to release them. These feelings are not you. They are moving through you. If you are feeling overwhelmed by these uncomfortable emotions, pause. Breathe slowly and deliberately and tell yourself that you are okay. Remember your strength. Remember your strength. When you're ready, beginning to deepen your breath, beginning to find some gentle movement back in the body, so wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, finding a gentle stretch all the way from your toes to your fingertips, and then turning either to the left or to the right and just curling up into a little ball and resting here. For a few more breaths. And then when you're ready, meeting me in a seated position, just closing the class the way we began. Hands come to connect at the centre of your chest, thumbs touching the sternum. I wish that I could show you, when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. I wish that I could show you, when you were lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. Thank you so much for coming, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, as it always is, teaching you guys and being with you in this space. A few people have just joined us right at the end of class. I'm going to be saving it to the main grid, so do catch up if you're just joining us now. You know, I'm here every Friday, although actually I'm not here next Friday because I am on annual leave, but I will be back soon. I'll try and pop a little thing up on the stories letting you know when that will be. I think I'm likely to be back the following Friday after that, but I'm just sorting a few things out at the moment. So have a beautiful day, week, whatever you're doing, few weeks, and yeah, sending you some of the sunshine from London today. Take care, guys. Bye.